In season 1991-92, Rangers captured the Scottish League and Cup double. Striker Ali McCoist won the coveted Adidas Golden Boot Award with 37 league goals, becoming the first Scotsman ever to do so.
A goal of supreme quality from Scotland's in-form striker. Now Durant, McCoist on the turn. That's great play by McCoist.
Well, it was a remarkable season for me in terms of goal scoring. The boys were playing some great football throughout the campaign in the league and the cups, and it was just a matter of myself and Mark finishing off the good work. Some of the football we played was as good as I've been involved in.
So, with the league flag flying over Ibrox again, the problem for the manager was, how do you follow that?
Well, I was confident that the blend that they had shown the previous season would carry on. Just how successful you're going to be with it, you never really know. But I was confident that they would handle it well.
In a nervy opening league encounter with St Johnstone, it quickly became apparent that nothing could be taken for granted, though Andy Gorham was going to be a hard man to beat. Eventually, who else but Ali McCoist settled the nerves, scoring the only goal of the game and picking up where he left off last season. Next up at Ibrox were Airdrie, their previous year's Scottish Cup final opponents. And it was a Ukrainian pair, Kuznetsov and Mikhailichenko, who between them carved out the opening for the first goal. In the end, Dale Gordon was the man on the spot to put the Ibrox side ahead. And check out the Gordon shuffle. Airdrie's stubborn defence policy was cracked once again in the second half. Mark Hateley with a typical left foot strike. Having drawn 0-0 at Easter Road, Rangers faced a visit to newly promoted Dundee, and they were uncharacteristically caught with their guard down and were edged out in what turned out to be a 7-goal thriller. A controversial penalty won it for Dundee. The manager was philosophical in defeat.
At Dundee, at the early part of the season there, was probably our worst performance of the year. Every time Dundee went up the park, they looked as though they could score. And it was the same with us, certainly. And it was ended up we lost 4-3. So that was one game where they could have been rightly criticised for maybe not giving their best in that one.
Walter's problem now was how to pick his men up for the first visit of Celtic to Ibrox Stadium. The vast experience of Trevor Steven, brought back to Ibrox from Marseille, was going to be a key factor if Rangers were to win this one. As in all Old Firm games, the atmosphere was electric.
Hateley's header was aimed for Hallstrap. Supported well by Robertson. Trevor Steven dummies the ball for Hateley. The chance is on for Steven. He's offside. It will not count. Superb play from Rangers, but the flag was up before Steven delivered the shot. Ignari comes clear with the ball for Celtic. Plenty of support waiting in the middle. Deflected there, and the goal for Celtic. Kerry Craney puts Celtic ahead. Good tackle by Brown. Ferguson to McCall. This is Durant. Well, the pace of the match has dropped just a little, and we're seeing a lot more passes being put together by both sides. Can Hallstrap get there in time? He did extremely well. The chance is on. The equaliser from Ian Durant. 69 minutes of the match gone. Ian quarters to life. It was a brilliantly set up goal, and the pace of Houston was vital here. Pulling this back, the layoff came from Haitley, the deadly finish from Durant, and this time Marshall didn't have an answer.
But with the fans sensing the side was still to get into top gear, it was clear Rangers would have to show real character when a hungry Aberdeen side came to Ibrox.
Patterline getting in the cross, headed away by Goff, only as far as Aitken, and Ryakin scores a sensational goal for Aberdeen.
We didn't play very well at all in the first half, and the gaffer, he told us that in no uncertain terms.
Aberdeen had the better of the chances in that game and were looking the more likely team. We had been missing Mark Haitley, and we just had to play a bit more. We had to lift our game a little bit, so we just had to ask at half-time that they raised their game.
Now the fans getting more behind them. John Brown still well forward, chests it down to Durant. Mikhailichenko, Durant. Oh, wonderful goal by Ian Durant!
The boys have shown a lot of determination. The gaffers put that right into us now. Just keep battling away for 90 minutes, and we've battled away. We might have not played the best of football, but we've battled away and got a result.
Durant is the hero of Ibrox for the second week running. 53 minutes gone, and surely now that will lift Rangers out of their lethargy.
You normally find the true characters and find out about the true characters people when the chips are down. Fortunately, we haven't had too many downs in my time here, but team spirit's great.
Gary Smith's free kick aimed at the head of Patterline, headed away though by McPherson. Now it's Durant. Good ball through to Ali McCoist, who's onside. McCoist, 2-1 to Rangers. Well, Ali McCoist, who had a lean afternoon, strikes again. That's his 9th goal of the season, 61 minutes. Ali McCoist, well, he's had 2 doubles and a hat-trick already this season, and well on the way to equalling the 37 goals he scored last season. Mikhailichenko, and that puts it beyond doubt. A magnificent strike by Alexei Mikhailichenko.
I would think that was probably our best home performance of the season when we went on to run out 3-1 winners, and they played some great football and some great goals in that one too.
It was to prove a real turning point as the Blue Machine went into overdrive.
Now send me a sign to save my life, 'cause at this moment in time there's nothing certain in these days of mine. It's a funny thing when it does up on you. I know as much as the day I was born in. Though I wasn't asked, I might as well stay and promise myself each and every day I'll be a knot on your back and your life's up. Down on the bottom, there's nothing else but to shout to the top. Well, we're gonna shout to the top. We're gonna shout to the top. We're gonna shout to the top. Hey, we're gonna shout to the top. It's a funny thing when it does up on you. I know as much
Inevitably, Ali McCoist on the score sheet. Peter Houster rounded off the scoring at 4-0, but this a special day for Ali.
The proudest moment in my footballing career. It was when I'll never forget, the gaffer came in to, we're up a day at United and Big Goffey wasn't playing. And the gaffer came into my hotel room and asked me if I'd stand in for Big Goffey, and it was just an amazing feeling. And the day at Tannadice, I think we won 4-0. It was a great performance as well, and the skipper the Rangers was just a phenomenal feeling. It was magic.
Did you ever expect it?
No, I never. But knowing the kind of example I lead by, I felt I was the man for the job.
September, of course, saw the start of the European Champions Cup campaign. Rangers' first round opponents, the Danish champions Lyngby.
Here's Brown again. It's a good cross, a header there by Hendley. 1-0 to Rangers, Mark Hendley injured in the process. It's a careless one. Halstra to Hendley, that's back for Halstra. It's a brilliant finish from Peter Halstra. Rangers are 2 ahead, and while they found it going difficult, they produced a couple of genuine quality goals.
A 2-0 cushion then from the first leg, and in front of a quite staggering travelling Rangers support, Ian Durrant settled the tie with a classy late winner. Rangers comfortably through, Durrant starring on the European stage.
I really enjoy it because you get a lot more time in the ball, as people will tell you. And it's the Premier League's a really not a kick and rush, but it's really played at 150 mile an hour. In the European, you get more time now. You can look about and maybe pick out passes. But it's a better football.
A lot is mentioned about the financial aspects of qualifying for the Champions League, which are very important for any club. But I think that we had to show that after winning the league championship, 4 in a row, that we had to, at some stage or other, start to show we could take the domestic forum into the European round, and we did that.
Between Rangers and a place in that Champions League stood Leeds United, the champions of England, in a tie immediately billed as the Battle of Britain.
And a brilliant start for Leeds, Gary McAllister, silencing the Ibrox crowd in the most effective way. Goff's at the near post as well. It's up to Lukic. Oh, and he's fisted it into his own net. The goal's been given. Completely miscued. And McCoist. Rangers get the lead. Lukic had saved the first header from the corner. They could only palm it down.
I think a few people are expecting us to fall on our faces a bit and make a fool of ourselves, but I think you look at the performances now, the whole of Europe probably looking at, well, we don't fancy going to Rangers next year.
To beat Leeds home and away, when we're given, after the 2-1 victory at home, we're given very little chance down there, and that was good to shut up a lot of people, and plus to give Scotland and Rangers, credibility.
A decisive moment.
McAllister pushed in for Chapman. Speed playing it through for Cantona. Brown's challenge was a strong one and a good one, and Durrant now leading the charge. Here's Hately. Hoist on the far side. It's a super goal, and Rangers now have thoroughly killed off this European Cup tie. The joy on the face of Ali McCoist, a super strike down the left, an inch-perfect cross, and that Predator-in-Chief Ali McCoist registers goal number 29 of the season.
I think before the start of the season, our biggest ambition was to achieve success in this competition, and to get to the Champions League stage was a major part of our season.
It gave the players a lift, knowing that you were in the group section. And it's the furthest we've been in a number of years. It gave us a lift, which we carried through our league programme too.
Triumph in Europe and in the Skull Cup, where Rangers reached the semi-final to meet St Johnstone.
Got it there. McCoist! Ali McCoist for Rangers. Well, 24 minutes gone. St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. Ferguson to McCall. John Brown's well forward. Ian Ferguson. It's blocked by Ingles. Here comes McPherson. Redford's with him. Durant. It's a good cross. Ali McCoist in there again. It's headed away by Brown. Well chested down there by Haitley, who was under pressure from Ingles. Here comes Ali McCoist again. McCoist! That does it.
A comfortable 3-1 victory in the end, and yet another Hampden final against old rivals Aberdeen. The two sides had served up some thrilling finals in the past. This one would be no exception.
The Rangers fans there on the Mount Florida terracing, and the Aberdeen fans on the Jockstein terracing salute their teams. Well, that's good play by Stuart McCall. Nice little dummy by Durant. Ferguson getting the ball at his right foot. Oh, it smacks off the post. So that's a good clearance by Stephen Wright. McCall plays it to McCoy, to Durant. Some lovely close play here by Rangers. Oh, it's McCall. Stuart McCall. What a blunder in the Aberdeen defence. 13 minutes gone. Ian Durant coming through there.
Well, once again, a great surging forward run being Durant. I think it's David Winnie comes off his foot. Theo Snelders could not handle that because of the pass back low. Sticks his leg out, Winnie comes back. Snelders' chest control lets him down. Falls to Stuart McCall, and no problem for him not into the back of the net.
Well, Rangers had a real test of character the other night. Now Aberdeen have won, but it's Ian Jess getting away from Richard Goff. Will he go it alone here? Oh, terrific stop by Andy Gorham. Richard Patalainen was on the far side. There's Patalainen again. Andy Gorham, he's one of the best shot stoppers in the game. Haitley and McLeish going for it. Haitley gets the touch. Well, claims for handball against Ali McCoy. The referee waving play on. And that was just inches away. Well, I've seen Booth and Jess in action together before, and they can be a formidable partnership. But this is Shearer. Oh, terrific goal! Duncan Shearer, 62 minutes. Just down by McPherson. This is John Brown to Alexei Mikhailichenko. Oh, marvellous save by Theo Snelders. Well cut out by Robertson. Good forward towards McCoist again. He's policed by Gary Smith. He lays it off though to Ian Durant. Here's McCoist again. Dale Gordon's breaking at the right. McCoy's shot. Oh, that's a marvellous diving save by Snelders, who watched it all the way. Winnie's in there for Aberdeen. Durant gets it for Rangers. It's laid off by McCoist to Dale Gordon. McCoist again. This is Durant. McCoist racing through. It's Ian Durant. Oh, what a marvellous effort. And well saved by Theo Snelders. Now here's McCall now for Rangers to Durant. Robertson's breaking in the left. He fires in the cross. Haitley's in there. And the ball's in the back of the net. Well, Robertson's cross went right across the defence and landed in the back of the net. Walter Smith is absolutely delighted. It's Rangers 2, Aberdeen 1.
The Robertson cross comes in here just off the top of Gary Smith's head and in for an OG here. Good ball in, teasing cross. Oh, that was a tragedy for the Aberdeen defence.
So we're now into time being added on. The referee again looking out towards his linesman. And there goes the final whistle. Rangers win the Scottish League Cup for the 18th time in their history, for the 8th time in the last 12 years. Jubilation among the players and supporters.
So, a familiar feeling for Richard Goff as he once more lifted silverware.
They say you get into a winning habit, and we have. I think over my time here in 6 years or something, maybe we've only lost maybe 15 times in 6 years. And if you look at that type of thing, our record over that amount of time, even the last 2 years, you know, it's been phenomenal. Really, the amount of games that we've played and we've come out on top, especially the important ones.
We had a hard game against Leeds previous Wednesday, and it was always going to be a difficult game, but overall we were stronger. And you know, unfortunately for Aberdeen, we scored with an own goal, but I think overall we deserved to win, and it was nice to get the first trophy sewn up early on, especially against his main rivals.
You can say we've had that wee bit of luck, but I firmly believe you also make your own luck. And we attack a lot, and you know, the breaks come our way.
You have to have a good staff. I mean, I was assistant manager to Jim McLean and Graham Souness, and sometimes when you're in that job, you wonder, you say to yourself, am I doing the right things, or am I doing enough for, you know, what am I doing? And it's only when you become a manager and then you have Archie as assistant manager, you realise just how important it is.
Right now, Walter Smith is holding down one of the most prestigious jobs in world club football. He's a man who commands enormous respect from players and coaching staff alike. After all, he has worked with some of the biggest names in the game. His working week is a busy and varied one, building up to match day, which involves both relaxed preparation and ritual. He doesn't crave the limelight, but by the nature of his job, he finds himself in it. But living in Dunbartonshire helps him to avoid the pressures which others find hard to escape from in a football-mad city like Glasgow. He leaves his home early on match day and uses a 30-minute drive to Ibrox to good effect.
Well, this is a start, just a quiet drive in the morning. It gives us a chance to think of team selection and things like that. You normally, due to the number of midweek matches we have, got one or two injury problems. So we have to basically think about that. So you're thinking about that as you're driving along in the morning. And when we go up, Archie Knox and I go into our usual Saturday morning routine. There's quite a few times the Friday we can select the team on a Friday. The number of matches that we play now make it more and more difficult, because normally we're playing on a Wednesday and you always have one or two people who are doubtful for the game. It's a half-hour drive in, and it's good thinking time. You know, mornings, coming home in the evening, it gives you a chance to sit down and think without the phone going or without anybody trying to get in touch with you. Usually do most of that here, accompanied by a bit of music, may I add. If you start out and you're doing coaching, or you've got any idea of getting into management, you would always consider the job at Rangers as being the job that you want. How you get there is another thing. So I've managed to get there, and it's everything that I've ever wanted. The success, I always think, means everything to Rangers, not just me. I mean, if you're a manager, it's fair enough, but Rangers means a bit more than that. I think you've got to take the whole thing into the context. It means a lot to supporters, directors, chairmen, for the players themselves. It's not just for the manager. And you know, I'm just happy that the team has been successful while I'm being the manager.
There's no doubt that success lends itself to something of a family atmosphere within Ibrox Stadium. Kitman George Suter is never slow to serve up a welcome brew. This Rangers management team appears to have just as strong a bond with those behind the scenes as it does with the playing staff.
I think it's more man management. I think the gaffer have actually proved that over the last 2 or 3 years, handling the players and getting them to perform to the best of their ability. And so far, so good.
After breakfast, the matchday ritual continues when Walter and his assistant Archie Knox put themselves through their paces. There's no doubt Walter's relaxed approach works well.
He's the kind of guy where if you do well for him, he'll do well for you. He treats the players how he'd probably expect to be treated. You know, there's no pettiness, there's no you must be in your beds by 10 and things like that. He treats us like adults.
But more than that, Walter Smith is a top football coach.
I think he's definitely the best coach I've had. Although I had Archie as a manager at Dundee, but Archie's doing a great job alongside him. But you've got David Dodds there too.
Jog and sauna complete, Walter and Archie sit down to lunch with club doctor Donald Cruikshank and chairman David Murray. It's become something of a tradition on a home match day, and one which the chairman clearly enjoys.
Probably enjoy it a lot more than Walter and Archie. I mean, they're more nervous. because their job's on the line, basically. It's a ritual we've always done, and we just, I mean, there's many a time I'm late and they'll hold up the tea. We've just always done it, and it's part of the pre-match stuff.
Well, the chairman's as ambitious for Rangers as anybody, and we've had to fund rebuilding at the stadium, the extra bit of the stand now. We're hoping soon to have the capacity up, even when we had to renew the pitch there. We're putting in extra seating, and we're hoping to get at one stage or other capacity up to 50,000. When all the stadium work's completed, when the funds will be totally released for players, then there is no doubt that when the very best players become available, Rangers will go for them.
An attractive prospect. Meanwhile, the current playing staff aren't doing too badly. Ali McCoy scoring all 4 goals against Falkirk, and as captain for the night, he was deservedly named man of the match. 4 nights later, he grabbed another brace in a 5-1 drubbing of St Johnstone. A week later, a cloud was cast over Ibrox with the news of the death of Rangers great Willie Waddell. Having served the club for over 44 years in a variety of roles, the news saddened many, especially those closest to him.
Willie Waddell was like a father figure to me over a long number of years, and from the day he came back here and took over as manager and I was the captain, he took me into his confidence then and asked me to help him to achieve what he was trying to do for the club. And from that day onwards we had a very close relationship, and he basically wanted the best for Rangers Football Club on and off the field. He didn't, and he admitted it himself, he never at any time wanted to win any popularity contests. He wouldn't have done that. All he wanted to do was to work for the club, and he fell out with a lot of people, but I think Ibrox Stadium as you see it now is testimony to what he tried to achieve here. And basically he set standards which hopefully because of my relationship with him I can help the club to continue.
A minute's silence at the next home match for the man they called the Deedle. 1 goal settled it, once again that man McCoist. The next league match saw another 4 go past Motherwell, another 3 for McCoist.
Houstra comes down there, it's a penalty kick. It's McCoist against Dykstra. And he scores! Long one now for Houstra to chase. Almost a carbon copy of the penalty situation. Houstra doing well against the defender. It's Chris McCart who moved in there. Still Houstra, Ali McCoist! And it's McCoist who finishes it off. House for his corner. Oh, marvellous goal by John Brown. It's McCall. Ferguson. Mikhailichenko, a nice back heel flick. Here's Mikhailichenko. Ali McCoy's brilliant play by Rangers.
At Parkhead the following week, Andy Gorham showed world-class form.
It's a short one to McStay. Marvellous save by Andy Gorham from Darius Dovcik. Andy Gorham taking every advantage, finds Hitley. In comes Dale Gordon. Ali McCoy's there. Here's Ian Durrant. Ian Durrant scores for Rangers. 32 minutes gone. And a classic counter-punch by Rangers. Ian Durrant striking with great style. His 5th goal of the season. The downward header from Hitley. Dale Gordon found Ali McCoist. He could have had a go himself, but he knocked it down to Ian Durrant. A brilliant goal by Rangers. Celtic 0, Rangers 1. Hitley nipped in there just ahead of Mowbray. This is Boyd. And Andy Gorham. Dovcik's corner, punched away by Gorham. Turned by Collins. Breaks out now to Peter Grant. Rangers under siege. This is Paul McStay. The chance on now for Gillespie. And again, Andy Gorham defies Celtic. Headed away there by Robertson. This is Peter Grant. There goes the final whistle.
It's always nice to do Celtic. This season I think everybody's looked at the European side of it and forgot about the old firm rivalry, but you should never forget about that.
All through the time I've been here, you normally find there's always maybe 2 or 3 players or a couple of players in a season who actually do remarkably well. They hit good spells of form, and this year's been no exception. I think Andy Gorham, he's been in tremendous form the whole season.
And the goals against column confirms that. Only 11 goals conceded in 15 games, which included 7 shutouts. At this stage, they'd opened up a 4-point gap, and the winning streak continued. The first league game of the new year, and as ever, an Old Firm encounter. A capacity crowd of just over 46,000 at Ibrox, and a Rangers win would open up an 8-point gap over Celtic.
Ferguson playing it in, there's Hateley and Stephen! A goal of outstanding quality from Trevor Stephen, and Rangers take the lead.
Stephen's goal giving Rangers the points, the importance of that not lost on former skipper Terry Butcher.
The Rangers have so many big games. Every game to them is a cup final, every game to them is a big game. So it's very hard to peak all the time and peak as Rangers players do, on a Saturday and then again on a Wednesday and then again, European matches and Gold Cup matches and cup matches. There's so many big games for them during the season that it's up to the manager and to the assistant manager and to the other coaches as well as the other people at the club to motivate the players and keep them going on a high all the time.
After victories at Tannadice and Easter Road came the potentially hazardous trip to Pittodrie, a night when Andy Gorham was quite outstanding.
Excellent save from Gorham. Chances on through the middle, it's brilliant goalkeeping by Gorham. Richardson with a free kick, McLeish has gone forward, so has Irvin. Matalainen nodding it across. And a great save again from Gorham. Ian just holds his head, he can't believe it. There he goes, straight against the wall. Stephen sends it back in, there's Hateley! It's in! Rangers have scored! It's a sucker blow from Rangers! And the Rangers supporters, I'm sure, can scarcely believe that. In the context of a game in which Rangers have had a mauling, they've taken the lead. Trying that now against Andy Gorham. Two good efforts and sticks on the line. Well, Gorham has been outstanding all night and now he's had a stroke of luck.
And of course, you need a bit of luck when it matters.
You get games like that. We've got Aberdeen away, which is probably the vital game in the league. If we win that game, that's us, I think, with 6-7 points clear. But then if they win, it narrows the gap and there's more pressure on us. Great goal by Mark, magnificent goal, a typical Mark header. But again, a couple of saves, only a couple of saves to make, and fortunately it's come off. I think when you're doing well, you do get the breaks and you do make the saves. I think if we're third off the bottom, the second off the bottom, they two would have gone in and would have get beat. But it was the last minute one that I can remember most. Ball got hit, free kick, hit the wall, rebounded back to him, and he's hit it through the wall again. And as I've gone down, it's gone through my arms, and it was going through my legs, and it's hit my backside, and I must have been a yard off the line. And I've just looked up and I thought, oh no. And I thought it was in. I've turned around and I could just see the ball right behind me. And again in the last minute that would have been us 1-1. And I've just picked the ball off the line. It was a great feeling. It's a good job my backside's quite big.
Andy's brilliant form has much to do with goalkeeping coach Alan Hodgkinson.
We came across each other at Oldham when I was about 20, 21. Joe Rell brought him in for 2 days a week. And after 2-3 weeks I turned around to Joe and said, I can't work with this man. I just couldn't grasp what he was getting at all. Joe told me to stick at it another couple of weeks and eventually clicked. And ever since then, I think if it wasn't for Alan, I wouldn't be playing for Rangers, I wouldn't be playing for Scotland. And since then, he's really took over. My father died 5-6 years ago, and he's really took over the father figure as such in my career. We've got a great relationship.
And the double act with Hodgkinson was paying dividends. Thanks to Gorham's magnificent display at Pittodrie that night, there was now some daylight emerging between Rangers and the chasing pack. 7 points ahead of Aberdeen, 11 points ahead of Celtic, and 12 ahead of Hearts. Sensing this, Walter Smith and his players quite simply upped the tempo.
for the pace of Robertson. Mackay's there though for Hart, struggles a bit but gets it to Van de Ven. He runs into trouble. The chance on for Ali Mackay. And it's quickly taken, and here's Robertson, and he's scored.
What pleased Walter Smith most about this winning run was the sense of unity his squad displayed.
I think if anybody looks over the season for Rangers, they would say that one of the outstanding features of them has been, as a team, they've stuck together, and even when they've lost goals, they've came back in some style. They've showed great spirit, and I think it would be wrong to separate one from the whole team in that respect.
In short, there are those who have displayed an all-for-one and one-for-all attitude. In particular, Stuart McCall's driving force in the midfield has been a significant example of Rangers' fighting spirit. The return of Davy McPherson has added to the stability of the back four. David Robertson has become an almost ever-present since joining up at Ibrox, and having been beset by injury and illness, Ian Ferguson has had probably his finest season in a blue jersey to date. But a punishing domestic schedule takes its toll. With so many stars out of action at one time, Walter Smith has been forced to blood his promising youngsters like David Hagan, striker Gary McSwagan, the versatile Neil Murray, and ever-improving defender Stephen Pressley. And on March the 13th, one of those young stars really came of age in front of the Ibrox Legions.
Send in at McCoist, gets a little touch to Hagan, excellent play by Hagan! A superb goal by David Hagan.
It just came like a flash. I don't know why, you don't know why you do these kind of things, but I'm glad I did. So I could see the ball going up in the air over the guy's head, and I've seen it drop in front of me. Just took my chance and I took the target, and it fortunately went in.
Here's Hagan again. It must be so pleasing too for the management team of Walter Smith and Archie Knox when they see so many youngsters coming through and responding so well. There's another one, Presley. He plays it to McCall, whose battling qualities have been immense again this afternoon. Still McCall, getting in the cross, it's Hitley! And it's 2-0 to Rangers! That's a good ball through to Hagan. The chance on here surely for Rangers. And Ali McCoist scores.
But then a 2-1 defeat at Celtic Park, ending an incredible 44-game unbeaten run in all competitions, something the manager looked back on with pride.
I think that part of the season was probably something I would never have imagined. You can maybe look forward to winning the domestic competitions, but going a run that length and qualifying in the manner in which we did for the Champions League, I couldn't have imagined that was going to happen at the start of the season.
Here's Richard Gough. Forward goes McPherson again. That's a great ball in. The header from McCall. A superb move from Rangers. Ferguson to Stephen. There goes Hitley. McCoist. 2-0 to Rangers. Pressure still on. Stephen back to Brown. Making for the byline. Back with Ferguson.
Well, the pace just continues. This is great play by McCall. Hitley lays it off. It's Ferguson. That is a brilliant goal by Rangers. This is Trevor Stephen. It's in at Hitley. And it's gone in. Ali McCoist. 89 minutes. Ali McCoist gets his 48th goal of the season for Rangers, and that must surely tie up not just the match but the championship itself. Trevor Stephen played it in. It was Hitley's header, and that was McCoist to steal it past Theo Snelders for a brilliant goal. Rangers 2, Aberdeen 0.
With so many big games to prepare for in what is, after all, a physically demanding season, the club's policy is to make sure the players get away from it all as much as possible. One favourite haunt, Turnberry on the Ayrshire coast, a perfect retreat for the squad. For the players, no distractions here as they focus their attention on the next big game. Squad harmony comes directly out of get-togethers like these. An occasion too for the management to meet the football media, just another part of Walter Smith's job, and one which the manager conducts with his usual frankness and courtesy. It's a process from which both parties can only benefit. While the boss is busy, the players relax.
It's definitely good because in terms of relaxation and stuff like that, and it's nice to get away out the city, if you like, and come down here. The gaffer, we've been doing it for a while now, and I think it suits the boys and the gaffer as well, so it's very pleasing, very relaxing.
I agree with him. Very relaxing.
With League, Scall and Scottish Cup campaigns, there have been plenty of big games to prepare for. Throughout the season, there were none bigger than those in the lucrative European Champions League, with Marseille first up at Ibrox in November.
It's not a knockout, remember, this is the start of a mini-league. 4 teams in each group, and the winners of those 2 groups meeting in the European Cup final in May. Referee gets the signal, and away we go, with Marseille in the white strip attacking the goal to our right. McPherson knocking the ball away. Ball is through to Rudy Voller. Boxic waiting up alongside him. Pele's gone into the middle. Needs to be picked up. Boxic! 1-0. Well, that's a terrible blow for Rangers. It's away. Woolley collects. And Sozi. Brown. Straight to Deschamps. Rangers fans very unhappy about that. Voller. Nicking it wide to Dimeco. Sozi. Little touch in. Voller's after this one. And it looks as though Rudy Voller will make it 2. Well, sadly, it was a mistake by young Presley, and Voller, like a vulture, was onto that one once it had gone past Goran. Position, instantly spraying a wonderful ball out there from Mikhailichenko. Eggley's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. Will it come from McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! His first touch of the ball, and he finds a glorious header from Mikhailichenko's cross and puts it in the back of the Marseille net. Well, his first appearance in Europe, his first goal in Europe, and what a brilliant one it is for Gary McSwegan.
And his first touch in Europe, isn't it?
First touch in Europe. No foul. Rangers are coming for them again. This time Durant. Finding McSwegan, a lovely ball play with the outside of the boot. Durant again. The cross comes in, and it's in there. Mark Haitley has made it 2-2. A fabulous comeback by Rangers. What a night this is turning out to be. Durant again, so much the architect of it. Haitley, the wonderful scorer. And Rangers, against every odd, bring it back to 2-2.
The kid's got another touch in there, hasn't he? McSwegan, a great little give and go with Durant. And there goes Haitley, little deflection, but he's in there. This is unreal. This is absolutely unreal now, isn't it?
And who's to say they won't go on and finish the job now? There goes the final whistle.
I said before the game that I felt that they were favourites to qualify from the section, and I think they showed in the early part of the game there that they're a particularly good side. They may have got a little bit casual near the end, but they've paid for that, so we can only be happy.
1 point on the board, and then it was to Bochum in Germany to face the Russians CSKA Moscow. But in the very first minute, an early fright for Walter Smith's men. Russian striker Sergeyev denied by Andy Goram, Trevor Stephen and John Brown, with David Robertson eventually clearing the danger. Miraculously, Rangers' goal remained intact. It was Rangers who were to win this second Champions League game. Ian Ferguson scoring what proved to be the only goal of the match with the help of a deflection. Fergie will undoubtedly score better goals in his career. Thankfully, keeper Gutiev had little chance, and Rangers now had 3 points in the Champions League. Rangers then went to Bruges, and again luck was on their side in the opening minutes, the crossbar denying Belgian skipper Van der Elst. A minute before the break though, the home side went ahead when some hesitancy in the Rangers' defence allowed Jubinski to crack home the opening goal. But maybe Bruges forgot that this is a Rangers side which never gives up. Smith's men were about to get back on level terms. Mikhailichenko's corner was only partly cleared. Stuart McCall played the ball back in, and Peter Houstra hit home the equaliser. Once again, Rangers showed the strength of their character when they had to. Now they had 4 Champions League points on the board.
I always felt that if we kept playing that we would get something, because they looked as though they were a bit tired, maybe, with their efforts in the first half of the game.
In the end, a well-taken goal from Peter Hoistra.
Yes, we had, because of injuries, to ask him to play on the wrong side of the pitch. He's left-footed and he had to play on the right. Unfortunately, it fell to his left and he placed it away well.
Then a fortnight later, Rangers played host to Bruges in front of over 42,000 fans.
Trevor Steven with a good ball to Durant. Yes! 6 minutes before half-time, Rangers get the breakthrough. Ian Durant.
Well, this is their best move of the game. What a great spot has been there from Trevor Steven. Good first touch and a brilliant finish.
No shortage of drama here tonight, or entertainment. It's a quite splendid match. Van der Heyden knocks it forward, danger here. And it's gone in. Starland's scored from absolutely nothing. Steven. Well done, Trevor Steven. What a shame he hit that straight into the back of McCall. But Nisbet whips it in. Oh my word! It's a goal by Nisbet. It's the break and the stroke of luck that Rangers needed. It might be the biggest fluke in Europe this season, but who cares? Rangers are back in front. It's over now, and Rangers have won by 2 goals to 1. And Scott Nisbet's goal could be one of the most important goals scored on this famous ground this season.
Great performance, good battling performance from us. And I'm really pleased. I think the boys showed tremendous character. And after losing a goal so early in the second half as well, it was a great performance from them.
With 6 points in the bag, Rangers went to the Velodrome in Marseille.
The club itself hasn't been involved in a game of this nature for 30 years or so, so it's a big match for everybody.
Now, what are the tactics? Go out and win it or settle for a draw?
Well, obviously at the end of the game we'd be happy for a draw, but for both clubs the stakes are high. If whichever club wins the match goes automatically into the final. So I think one of the worst things we can do is sit back and try and defend and hope we get a draw. I think we have to go and try and score the goal ourselves.
They're given away there, Sosé now to Rudi Voller. Boxic waiting in the middle. A goal for Marseille. Franck Sosé. As they look for this equalising goal, Stevens' corner floated in. It's a terrific goal by Durant. 1-1. A terrific goal for Rangers. 52 minutes gone. Ian Durant has made it 1-1.
Ian Durant has scored many vital goals for Rangers, but probably none as vital as this one. They weren't out of it yet.
And the final whistle's gone. And Rangers have got a tremendous 1-1 draw here. Everything now hanging on those last games in a fortnight's time when Rangers are at home to CSKA of Moscow. Marseille, for their part, playing their match away to Bruges. It will all hinge on that night.
Well, we'll look for, we've still got a chance going into the last game. And if you had asked us at the start of the European Cup if we were in this position, of course we would be happy.
And a good long throw there. And a good header by Goff. Well saved. Ostra. Towards McCoist on the far side, but just wide. Still hoping to get underneath this. Oh, crosses a beautiful ball in, and McCoist again is there on the end of it, and again it's off the target. McCoist is in there. Stephen too. Ferguson knocking it in. Durant, Trevor Stephen against the crossbar. That was a glorious opportunity. Robertson playing it in again. And suddenly McCoist is in there. They claim a handball. And Brown pushed away again. Another brilliant save there by Blotnikov.
But in spite of their best efforts, Rangers just could not get that breakthrough. In the end, it mattered not, as Marseille got the win they wanted in Bruges, and they, and not Rangers, would contest the European Champions Cup final. An early goal from Alen Boksic, ensuring them their place against Milan in Munich.
We had a great chance at Marseille. Everybody talks about the CSKA game at the end, but we had a chance at Marseille to do well. We played well over there, and although we didn't create an awful lot of chances, which is maybe typical of a lot of European games, we were always in there. And when you think that if we had scored another one that night, that would have been us in the final of the Champions Cup. So I think we've shown everybody that we're capable. Marseille have gone on and they've won the European Cup, and good luck to them. But I think we've shown that we can go and play against the best. The margin of error is always tight, but we've shown that we can handle it.
Say 1-0. There's tears from McCoist. You can see the bit of disappointment now. Rangers will not be going to the European Cup final. A night when Rangers have fought and fought
A gallant European Cup campaign in which the supporters played their part.
Especially in away games, I'm looking like Europe and things like that. I mean, at home they're just magnificent. Obviously, the boys in the enclosure and the Copman Road, they're great. They get behind you. But at the same time, what will stick in my mind over the last season was some of the performances away from home in Europe when they turned up in Lyngby. I mean, the support we had in Lyngby was incredible, and places like Bochum and even Marseille, and it was great. And I think they enjoyed the European run just as much as we did, and it's to them we owe a big vote of thanks, that's for sure. And hopefully we'll see them again in such great numbers next season.
One game is just as big as the next, especially when you're playing at that level, and not to get beat was the most important thing for us, I think.
The excitement of Europe over, the job in hand was to secure the league championship.
This is Brown. He's made it! 4 minutes of the match left, and John Brown has made it for Rangers.
Haitley to Nick Swagan to Hagan. Brown's well forward there with Haitley. Haitley gets the touch. That's a marvellous goal by Gary McSwagan. A superb goal. And look at the delight on his face. This is Hagan providing the cross. It's away by Irons, only as far as Ian Ferguson. And there's no flag here, the chance on. And that's a fine goal. Haitley. Good play by Haitley, using his strength. Neil Gordon plays it through. This is Ferguson, excellent play here. And it's Gary McSwagan again. He gets his second goal of the game, and he makes it 3-0 to Rangers. It's Durant to Ian Ferguson. Through now for McCall. Excellent play by McCall. And they're keeping possession, but really tightly marked. Slipped there by Van de Ven. That was McSwiggan playing it to Durant. Hitley's in there, he's caught the goalkeeper off his line, and Rangers take the lead. Brilliant play by Hitley. This is Derek Ferguson finding Robertson. He loses out there to McSwiggan. This is Durant playing it through for Hitley. The chance on now for McCall. Hitley's header. Oh, that's magnificent. That's a great header by Hitley.
And so to Broomfield, when at last the league championship was within Rangers' grasp. Missing that day, though, was Ali McCoist, who tragically suffered a leg break in Portugal on international duty. A huge Rangers support had travelled to Airdrie in anticipation of the big party.
Hitley in possession, looking for McSwiggan. That's good control by McSwiggan. The ball's going into the net. Rangers are ahead. That is Gary McSwiggan. 1 minute of the second half gone, and Ali McCoist's replacement, Gary McSwiggan, sends the Rangers fans into a state of joy and delirium. The final whistle goes. Rangers have won the match, and they've won the league championship for the 5th consecutive time. The manager, Walter Smith, walks round the track. He's entitled to feel thoroughly satisfied and contented. The smile tells the story, and these Rangers fans begin their celebrations in earnest.
The manager led the celebrations in earnest in the dressing room, and the magnitude of the achievement of 5 in a row was not lost on him.
That puts us among the Rangers' great teams. I think the last time I was looking through was a way back, so the boys are celebrating at the start, so I hope we can make it 6 and eventually get up to the 9.
You know, they never cease to amaze at the resilience. They've fought back in games, they've been down in games, they've won easily in games. It's been tremendous performance. Thanks very much. Cheery go.
Not in 62 years had a Rangers side won 5 league championships in a row. They'd achieved it suffering only 2 league defeats up until that stage in their campaign, amassing a colossal 94 goals with 4 games remaining. He might not have been there in person, but Ali McCoist is always cut out for a celebration. And so to prize-giving day for the visit of Dundee United. For kitman Jimmy Bell, the players still had to look their best for the occasion. With the pressure off, it was a relaxed and happy dressing room atmosphere. The small matter of a broken leg didn't keep McCoist away. The championship may have been secured, but Archie Knox's meticulous planning was as thorough as it had been for any match that season.
You pick up the furthest one and leave Hagee towards the penalty spot. Right? Come on, Rangers.
Rangers were determined to finish their season with a victory in front of their loyal home support.
Come on, Rangers. Perfect. Come on, 4 minutes. We're ready to go. Right, that's up. Let's go. Come on, that's the one. Come on, then. Hey. Come on, now. Come on, now. Come on, lads. Come on, Alex. Come on, now. Work. Come on, now. Let's go. Go on. Let's go. Right to the start.
one man would have particularly wished to have been in the starting lineup on this day.
It must be so frustrating for you.
Yeah, it's difficult, but as I said earlier on, Jim, I've been very lucky in terms of injuries, so it's just a bit of bad luck. Probably won't do me any harm.
Even with a broken leg, you'll be kicking every ball?
I'll be kicking every ball. It may not be a good thing. With my left foot now, won't it?
Here's Mick swinging. He's quick enough to go all the way himself. Well, a miscue there, which may be more down to the uneven surface than anything else. Hagen to Durant. O'Neill conceding that rather easily to Murray. Here's McSwigan, and now Haustra. And the ball is in. Rangers are ahead. Haustra takes the credit. Headed on there by Boland. And the whistle goes for the end of the match. Not too much injury time. And Rangers complete their season here at Ibrox undefeated on their own ground. And that's a very impressive record indeed. And here they come, led by the limping figure of Richard Gough. And applause all around the stadium.
In what had been one of the most gruelling seasons in memory, Rangers had triumphed, and in some style too. Skipper Richard Gough collected the trophy, and for the 5th season in a row, the Premier Division Championship Cup would rest in the Ibrox Trophy Room. To the delight of their supporters, Rangers had proved they had a squad of players who could go the distance domestically and were a match for anyone in Europe. In the meantime, the party had well and truly begun. But another target now lies ahead.
Celtic did 9, and that's got to be an aim for everybody at Ibrox. There's one thing for certain, we'll give it a good shot.
But that won't be on the Ibrox pitch as we've known it. That same night the pitch was dug up, work began on lowering the playing surface by 6 feet, and extra rows of seating installed in the stands as the upgrading of the stadium continues. Fully 3 weeks later, Rangers had secured a glorious treble with a 2-1 victory over Aberdeen at Celtic Park. It marked the first Rangers treble for 15 years and was the 5th in the club's history. A quite incredible achievement in a season which had already brought so much success and considerable prestige in Europe. Every one of Walter Smith's men had played his part, and as a squad they wholeheartedly enjoyed and thoroughly deserved the rousing reception from the Rangers following. On the journey back to Ibrox, the players savoured the moment at the end of a season in which history was made. For the supporters who took to the streets to salute the players, the 15-year wait for the treble had been long, but well worthwhile. As the victorious squad arrived back at Ibrox, the biggest party ever was about to get underway.
On behalf of all the players, I would just like to thank you all very much for your support that you've given us over this year. I think to do the treble, it's not going to be very easy to emulate it next year. The only thing we can go on and do is win the European Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard, but to do the treble, especially at Parkhead, I think that's very sweet. Anyway, once again from the players, thank you all very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I, on behalf of everybody, thank the whole team, not just for the treble today, but for everything they have done for Rangers this season. In years to come, this will undoubtedly rank as one of the great seasons, and what we watched today was one of the truly great Rangers teams. This is a side who has shown again and again and again that they just do not know how to lose.
and that's a great credit to everybody. It's thanks to Walter, Archie, and all the players, obviously, but not just them today. It's thanks to all of you, because this is what Rangers is about. It's a great family, and everybody who works at the club in every capacity has contributed to the success of today and to this season. We go off, we have a holiday, we come back and we do it again, and we do it again in Europe, because this is what makes us the greatest club in the world. We are simply the best. Rangers!
My plan is to keep the club driving forward. That's what the supporters want. That's why we're selling more season tickets. That's why more and more people want to come to Ibrox, because they know it's the place to be today. My duty as the chairman is to endeavour to generate more funds, to finish the stadium off and make more money available to Walter to strengthen his squad.
Which is what you've said you'd always do, to be fair to you.
Well, we have, but we had to rebuild the stadium. We've now got the finest stadium in Britain and one of the finest in Europe. And, you know, the team's starting to look not too bad as well. We've made our mark in Europe. I think, you know, Rangers fans and myself, we're always a wee bit parochial in the sense that we thought we're a big club. But I'll tell you what, we're a big club now.
Well, they're well up for this one. The atmosphere out there, quite simply, is electric.
To see how ugly you guys are. Here, let me see. This is a guy that's taking it. Come on. Right, come on, eh? What about this?
So, how did you see your goal, David? Just to one touch, bang, goal.
Him first.
We've done a double last year, hopefully we can go and do maybe a treble this year, who knows next year, maybe we can go triple. As Peter Houston said, the quadruple.